Alright, I want to show how I did that stitching brush. Some folks have asked about that. There are plenty of tutorials out there. Just look up stitching brush, or how to make an alpha brush, but I'll go ahead and just show you how I've done it. So I want to start with a plane. So I'm going to bring up my plane 3D form. Let's draw that out and go to edit mode. And let's take a look at the polyframes. Yeah, we're going to need a little bit more than that, so I'm just going to make it a polymesh 3D, and then let's subdivide it up maybe 2 times. Might need to go up a little bit higher, but I'll try it here. Let's turn polyframe off, and then let's sculpt on it and see how it does. Okay, that's not bad. The other thing I probably want to do is I'm just going to use the standard brush to do this, but I may want to make my focal shift a little bit tighter, so I've got more of a true bump out. And I probably want to make my Z intensity, let's go a little bit higher. Yeah, that's probably a bit much. Not enough. Boy, a fine line there. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Maybe a bit more than that. Alright, that should be okay. And let's make that fall off just a little bit. So it's kind of looking like threads bumping out of it. Alright, so once I've got that, now I'll want to turn on my symmetry, and let's get over the dark part of this thing. There, and so I want to turn that on, and I want X and Y, make sure, so I got that. So there's a couple of ways to do this. You can come in from this to do that, say that hex brush. You can come in from the outside here and then head towards the middle. Or you could start here in the middle and then branch out to something like that. Also, I'm noticing that my brush size is just a bit big, so let's drop that down a bit. Yeah, that's better. So maybe we can try both, but it might actually link better if it's coming from the center here rather than trying to match 2 edges. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to start right up here on the edge and draw in just a bit, and then now I'm going to hold my shift key and not my shift key. I want to start the movement, then hold shift and drag it out. That should give me my 45, and then let go and start down. Whoop. Here, let's undo that. Let's make sure I've started. Yeah. Actually, I might even be able to do this right off the bat here. So let's start out at a little bit of a 45. Yeah, there we go. That's looking really nice. And get out to about where I want to make the hex, and then drop that, and then start again and hold shift and go on down to the middle. And if it goes over a bit, you can try smoothing. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. That looks pretty dang good right there, like that. So I'll call that ready to go. And if it is, if you do get a little bit of jaggy on it, you can try subdividing it up again to smooth it out, but I think this is going to be fine. So the real trick now is to get this into a window where we can grab the document. So to do that, I need to resize it so that the document window is a square, and I need to zoom out a little bit on it. So I'm going to come over here to document, I'm going to turn off proportional, and then I'm going to put in a square 1024 by 1024. Works pretty well. make sure it's got both, and then I'm going to resize it. I do not want to, or yes, I do want to resize the document. And I'll need to draw this thing out again, so let's clear, Control N, and draw it out. Go into edit mode. You see in edit mode I've got my little border lines on there, and I don't want that, so we'll have to zoom some. So I want to come over here and zoom till till it sort of clears those. And then again, make sure that you hold down Shift, get that in orthogonal mode, and then tap F to frame it, or click on the frame button, and that frames that into there. So now this square mesh fits into the document window perfectly. And then for the alpha, I'll just come over here to my alpha menu and click on that. And down here where it says grab dot, just click grab dot, and that should grab that. And so now this should, in fact, let's subdue this thing up again, just so we can have a nice smooth, that'll add that alpha to the brush. In fact, let's subdue it one more time. Yeah, that's looking good. And now it's just a matter of working with the stroke to get it to, drop out a bit. Yeah, that's. Oh, sorry, I need to turn on my lazy mouse, and I need to probably increase the lazy step. Or no, that's the. Yeah, that's what I need. Not that much though. Let's see, stroke, lazy step. Let's try a little bit over 1. There we go. Yeah, see that's looking pretty good. So that would give me fairly good kind of hex stitching for this thing. Let's see if I want to make it a little bit. What I got? 1.48. Let's go to say 1.25 and see what happens. Yeah, there we go. That's even better. Yeah, we get a little bit of overlap on it. So, and then let's see how it does over it as it turns. Yeah, it actually turns quite well. This is actually better than the one I made earlier. It seems to link to itself a lot better. In there you can start to see where it skips out a bit, but that's not too bad. And then to get everything back, you just want to say so do some of that. Drop this, and then let's resize the document. Here I'm just going to turn on the window size and click on new, and don't need to save the changes. Now I should be back to that. So I could draw out something else. Let's get a ring. A cylinder ring, like I was doing with my steering wheel. Let's draw that out. Edit, and subdue it up a bit. And let's see. Let's get my alpha. And should be able to, oh, sorry, make that polymesh 3D, and there we go. Subdue it up one more time. Yeah. Strength is looking a little bit high, so I'd probably want to, drop my Z. Oh yeah, in fact, that was from when I was working with the. Yeah, there we go, a lot better. Also, if I want to make, if I want to do some color changes, I can do that. So let's fill this thing with, with a slightly different color. First, let's go ahead and undo that. Go ahead and make sure I've got my MRGB turned on, and color fill object, and then let's change its color to something. Let's go kind of dark here. Yeah, add that. And now I can reset that color back to, say, something else, make kind of a yellow thread here. And now just make sure I've got MRGB on in my, or RGB really would probably be better, on in this thing, and then I can draw, and that'll use that color to put that on where you want it. Alright, I hope this helps.